Yo, what's up guys? Got PokeaimMD here with another Pokemon Sun and Moon competitive analysis. This time we're going to be talking about Kommo-o. Now Kommo-o is the new dragon type that we got in this generation that is dragon and fighting. I just want to say I love that typing for a dragon type. If this was any generation prior to Gen 6, where the introduction of fairy type was around, I would even say dragon and fighting type is broken, because in Gen 6 we got fairy type, we obviously got Aegislash, two things that dragon and fighting in Gen 5 and down would have been dominating without. But in any case, Kommo-o is a really interesting Pokemon. It has great attack, defense, and special attack, as well as special defense. Like, all around, it has really good offensive and defensive typings. Its speed is pretty lackluster at 85, and its HP is pretty low. It has two pretty cool abilities. Apparently, it also has the hidden ability Overcoat, which is, I guess, okay if you don't want to be hit by, like, Sandstorm or Harrow or anything like that. But it has two pretty decent abilities, one being Bulletproof, the other one being Soundproof. Now, I actually like Bulletproof on this Pokemon a lot more than Soundproof, mainly because, well, Soundproof does prevent it from being hit by Mega Gardevoir's Hyper Voice, maybe Exploud's Boom Burst, a Bug Buzz or something. It resists Bug Buzz, so that's one I don't really care too much about. Boom Burst from Exploud isn't as common or running around. I'm assuming this thing is going to be high tier, maybe UU, maybe OU. You can definitely see an Exploud running around, but the main one is the fact that Hyper Voice from Mega Gardevoir, it doesn't matter if Mega Gardevoir can't hit this thing with a Hyper Voice, it can just knock it out with a Psychic. So it doesn't have to go for Hyper Voice, whereas it can just go for Psychic. And the other, like, Hyper Voice mons I could think of, Mega Salamence, which I don't even know if it is allowed. Pretty sure it's Uber. But if it wanted to use, like, Return or Double Edge, that would still knock out Kommo-o anyway. And it could also use Dragon Stab if needed. So, whereas I do like Soundproof as an ability, I think it's pretty cool that Pixelate Hyper Voice does not hit it. It's still getting hit by Psychic, and that's why most of these sets are going to have Bulletproof. Though I will talk about where Soundproof might be a good option. But the first set we have, I actually made 6 different sets on this Pokemon. The first set we have is Dragon Dance. Now, the drawback of Kommo-o, the thing that actually makes me sad, is the fact that it doesn't have good fighting stab. Its best fighting attacks are Brick Break, Sky Uppercut, Focus Blast on the special side, and that's pretty much it. That's all it has really as fighting stab. And that's why on a Dragon Dance set, I don't really think fighting stab is 100% necessary. If it had close combat, beautiful. If it had jump kick, amazing. I would easily put that on a Dragon Dance set or on a choice set or two. But for the Dragon Dance set, we just go with Jolly Max Speed. Jolly allows it to outspeed Pheromosa, Mega Lopunny, Mega Manectric. Unfortunately, Adamant Max Speed just falls short of that. But Jolly Dragon Dance with Dragon Claw, Poison Jab, and Earthquake. Now, again, you can put Sky Uppercut over potentially Earthquake. However, Earthquake hits Aegislash. It knocks out Heatran without any boost, whereas Sky Uppercut, even though it is stab, won't be able to knock it out. And Poison Jab, I think, is necessary. It hits the Tapus. It hits Tapu Fini, as well as hitting Clefable, Sylveon. Tapu Bulu goes down to this as well. But the Dragon Dance set is pretty common Dragon Dancing mon. It's just Dragon Dance 3 attacks. You could run Lumberry if you want to run like Outrage, but typically Dragonite will do that better. Not only does it have multi-scale and extreme speed in its arsenal, it also has access to Roost as well, and it has a higher attack stat. So it might not have the speed, but it also has extreme speed priority. So for the Dragon Dance set, I would just run Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Poison Jab, Earthquake. Again, none of my sets are final. None of my sets are absolute. You can run whatever you want. You could even leave set suggestions down below. I enjoy reading them. But for Dragon Dance, what I would use would be Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Poison Jab, and Earthquake. Earthquake is just overall better than Sky Uppercut, I think, anyway. Just being able to hit Heatran. Yeah, Sky Uppercut hits Pokemon like Rotom as well, maybe like Air Balloon, Excadrill, things like that. But Air Balloon, Excadrill would outspeed you anyway in the sand, which is what I'm assuming you'd be facing an Air Balloon, Excadrill in. And yeah, but the Dragon Dance set, I don't think that's where Kommo-o actually shines. I'm not a huge fan of Dragon Dance. It's extremely bulky, and a few sets I have do take advantage of that. Now, the next set we have is Atomize. This thing is pretty cool. Atomize is a move that boosts its speed while lowering its weight. that doesn't matter at all for Kommo-o. Maybe if you want to, drop some pounds, I don't know. Maybe your Kommo-o might be getting lazy. But again, we do have Bulletproof. Bulletproof is really cool because it protects you from Gyro Ball, from Ferrothorn. It protects you from Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, and Focus Blast. So Gengar's pretty much shut down. Though Sludge Wave is obviously able to hit you. And if it does pack Dazzling Gleam, watch out for that. But just I love Bulletproof because Gyro Ball is blocked, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, and Focus Blast respectively. All moves that are very, very common in competitive Pokemon. But Atomize is to get rid of this thing, slow speed. It does raise your speed times 2. And the EV spread is made so we outspeed Choice Scarf Latios. So we outspeed a Pokemon with 350 speed times 1.5. Just max special attack and 28 defense. The rest was just put in defense. You can go max speed if you want to. I went with a Modest Nature though because I wanted to just maximize its special attack, especially because this is a fully special mon. So we have Clanging Scales, which is its signature move. That's pretty much like a close combat for the special side almost. It's a dragon type attack that lowers your defense by 1, but it is 110 base power and 100% accuracy, and it's actually better than Draco Meteor on this set just because you can actually spam it without lowering your special attack, and it always hits. Focus Blast, speaking of always hitting, Focus Blast is the next move we have. This is your strongest stab, 120 base power before stab, though it's only 70% accurate, but it's ridiculously strong on this Pokemon with a Modest Nature. And then Flamethrower is used because that allows you to hit Skarmory for a more accurate move, though Focus Blast will do a lot to Skarmory. Flamethrower allows you to hit that for a more accurate move. It also allows you to hit Ferrothorn and Scizor, knocking out Scizor. Ferrothorn may be able to live that, but a stab, Modest Focus Blast, I'm not sure. Well, Ferrothorn's gonna having a tough time dealing with both of these anyway. But this is just a special set. This allows you to really take advantage of the fact that it has a good special move pool. It has Dragon Fighting Stab, and then it has Fire Stab on top of that. It's pretty much all you need. I would pair, anytime you're using Kommo-o, I would pair it with Pokemon that can deal with Fairy types. Clefable is so annoying for this Pokemon to deal with. Even with Poison Jab, it barely does anything. Even at +1, it does not knock out Clefable, and Clefable can easily knock you out with Moonblast. You're 4 times weak to it, so using this boosting move, I think it's pretty cool. It reminded me of Agility Dragonite back in the day, but this Pokemon doesn't have to use Draco Meteor because that will lower its special attack, and it doesn't have to use Dragon Pulse because that is weaker, but Clanging Scales actually works pretty nice for it. So next up we have a Mixed Attacker. Again, this one, I think you can swap between Draco Meteor if you want to drop a Draco or go for Clanging Scales, but I opted for a Draco Meteor on this set just because it is a lot stronger, and the Mixed Attacking set isn't setting up and trying to sweep, whereas obviously Dragon Dance and Atomize are doing so, but the Mixed Attacker is more like coming in and trying to wall break a bit. I would compare a mixed Kommo-o to either Sheer Force Life or a mixed Strudagon, or a mixed Hydreigon. Hydreigon's obviously faster and has Dark Stab, but Kommo-o does have Fighting Stab, which is something that it does have over Hydreigon. And Draco Meteor, Focus Blast, and Flamethrower all ran on this set extremely strong. And I put Poison Jab as the last move, allowing you to smack Tapu Bulu, allowing you to hit Tapu Fini for decent damage. Maybe because Tapu Fini does have really solid defenses, but it also allows you to KO a weakened Clef. Max defense, max HP Clefable, Bold Clefable isn't taking half from Poison Jab with a Life Orb. However, with a bit of prior damage, you're able to at least 2 KO upon switching if you want to do that. But this set outspeeds Jolly Bisharp before that thing could hit you with Iron Head, Jolly Braylon before it could put you to sleep, and also being able to outspeed, I guess, other Pokemon that are below that. Landorus, Defensive Landorus, Rotom, Support Heatran, as well as Scizor is also outsped, as long as it's not running max speed. And Tyranitar, just Pokemon around that range and down. And like I said, you can run Clanging Scales over Draco Meteor, but because this set isn't made to sweep, it's more so made to wall break. And there's also other options you can run. You can run Earthquake over Poison Jab. You can run Fully Special. You can run Flash Cannon as well. If you want to be able to hit Clefable a little bit harder than what Poison Jab would do, by all means, run Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon hits it harder. So you can even run Choice Specs on this set if you want to run just fully 4 attacks. So I do like Life Orb. I like the ability to be able to mix up. I like being able to hit my Ferrothorns as well as being able to hit my Dragon types. Next up we have Belly Drum. Now, I think this is the one set, though it is a bit gimmicky, that can actually take advantage of its Fighting Stab, because Kommo-o gets Belly Drum and reversal. Now, if you guys don't know what reversal does, when you're at 1 HP, basically the less HP you have, the more power it has. So when you're at 1 HP, this is a ridiculously strong attack. But the HP EVs allow its HP to be divisible by 4 plus 1. So 296 is divisible by 4, and then we have it 297 because it's plus 1. That way you can have that reversal boost. Sub, belly drum, max speed, that way you outspeed Pokemon like Megalopony, Pheromosa, though be careful about Megalopony because fake out hurts, and if you're not behind a sub, obviously we'll be able to knock you out. But basically the idea of this set is to set up and sweep. Salac Berry, boost your speed, times 1 again, allowing you to outspeed Pokemon like Pheromosa. Pheromosa hits 441 speed. I believe you hit 442 speed with the Salac Berry, something around that range, maybe 443. It's something around that range. I know it's faster than Pheromosa though by 1 or 2 points. And Dragon Claw is your stab that's pretty spammable, and reversal pretty much deals with everything outside of Dragon Claw, outside of maybe Pokemon like Aegislash or something like that. But Dragon Claw allows you to hit Pokemon like Rotom and the Dragon types without having to use reversal, and then when reversaled up, you knock out. Resistances don't matter when you're +6, full power, stab, reversal. And again, the idea of this set is come in on a Pokemon maybe like Rotom, where you can sub up. Volt Switch will not be able to break your sub because you do resist it, and then another Pokemon can come up. You can belly drum up into your well, in order to do this set, subbing is most important, because when you belly drum, you need to be able to have another extra HP. Basically, you need to be able to sub, belly drum, and sub again. That way you can get the speed boost. I'm pretty positive that this HP stat is correct. However, if I am wrong, please correct me in the comment section, because not only for my sake, but also for people watching the video, I want them to be able to, if they want to try and use this set, go ahead. Again, also talking about these, you can try Sky Uppercut over Earthquake. I like Earthquake better. It hits just harder. You can try Sky Uppercut on any of these sets, but in this set I really do like reversal. But Sub Belly Drum doesn't have to run reversal necessarily. You can run Poison Jab, you can run Earthquake. Earthquake's Dragon Claw pretty much hits everything outside of a Pokemon like Celesteela, Skarmory, so I would advise packing this thing with a Magnezone if you guys aren't running like reversal. But again, if I am wrong with my HP stat, feel free to leave a comment down below and tell me what spread is superior to this, because I want to be able to not only help myself, or I want it to help me, but also people watching, you know? So, again, the idea of this is sub down to your reversal, get the belly drum, get your Salac, and then sweep. Next up, we have what I like to call the Zygarde copy. Now, if you guys didn't know, this thing has amazing defensive stats. 125 defense and 105 special defense. I mean, it looks like it could take hits. Look at its stats. Or look at it. Look at it, just the way it is. That boy is armored up. He is ready. So I call this the Zygarde copy because Zygarde runs sub Coil, Dragon Tail, Earthquake, whereas this mon can also do that. Bulletproof is really cool because Gengar can't break your sub unless it goes for Sludge Wave. You set up on Mega Venusaur much like Zygarde, except Mega Venusaur's strongest attack to hit you is Sludge Bomb, and it doesn't work. Giga Drain obviously is not very effective. HP Fire is not very effective. It's not going to do anything. You can run Soundproof on this set. Maybe Soundproof could be used on this because when you are behind a sub, you still can be hit by Hyper Voice. But I wouldn't advise setting up anyway when your opponent has Gardevoir. One, Gardevoir is faster, so even if you were max speed, Gardevoir would be faster upon Mega Evolution, so I wouldn't advise doing that. But I like this set because a Pokemon like Skarmory, for example, cannot Whirlwind you out because Dragon Tail will go before Whirlwind. Also, you might be thinking, well, wouldn't Soundproof be faster because Pokemon run Roar as well? They could phase you out. Yeah, it's true, Pokemon do run Roar, but the most common phasers are Skarmory and Whirlwind. Well, it's not wrong. Skarmory and Hippowdon, and both of them run Whirlwind, so they don't care about your sub, which is why Dragon Tail is better. But it's enough speed to be able to outspeed bulky Rotom, defensive Venusaur, defensive Heatran, Landorus as well. And the only reason I ran enough speed for Landorus is because though Earthquake will still be doing decent damage, as long as you bulk up enough, it can't break your sub. You just gotta, I think, bulk up twice, so Earthquake doesn't break your sub. I still want it to be able to outspeed it, even though your best attack to hit it is going not last, it's negative in priority. I want to be able to outspeed it because some Landorus do run Toxic. Even if it's rare, I did not want my sweep rather to be weakened or stopped by poison status. So But yeah, the idea of the set is sub, bulk up so you get enough attack and defense. It's obviously not coil. Coil will be better so your Dragon Tail didn't miss. But bulk up is pretty cool because it does raise your attack and defense, boost up your Dragon Tail, phase them around. You still check Pokemon like Bisharp with Earthquake. Earthquake also hits Heatran, but Dragon Tail plus Earthquake with the max Spadef, you're setting up on special attackers. Rotom isn't breaking your sub ever, and you're just phasing around. So I do advise running this set with Spikes plus Stealth Rock, just hazards in general. Toxic Spikes is nice. Also with this spread, you also set up on Pokemon like Toxapex, which would otherwise be annoying because of Baneful Bunker. But that's also why I have Earthquake, so you can bulk up and then Earthquake on that Pokemon and just beat it 1v1. It's actually set up fodder for you. But last but not least, we do have a Choice Band set. Again, it does have such great bulk that I think that Choice Band is a pretty solid option. It's just a bulky, not fast, but bulky, strong attacker. And again, I do run Bulletproof on this. I just think it's better than Soundproof. I mentioned it multiple times, but you can run Soundproof. By all means, go ahead. You can run it. I just think Bulletproof is better. And that's just my opinion. But the Choice Band set runs Dragon Claw. You can run Outrage, but I would run Dragon Claw just because you can spam it without being locked into it, and a Fairy type can't just come in and stop you. And there's a bunch of Fairy types that came with Generation 7. Poison Jab, speaking of which, I think is 100% necessary on this set. With a Choice Band and Adamant Nature, you actually are able to 2-hit KO Clefable, the bulkiest Clefable, so that's definitely worth it. Tapu Fini is being 2-hit KO'd. I'm pretty sure Tapu Fini is the... I don't want to be wrong right here. Let me just look it up. Pretty sure Tapu Fini is the water poison one, if I'm not mistaken. Tapu Fini, water fairy. Excuse me, not water poison. Water fairy, which is what I was looking for. Yeah, water fairy. I mean, all the Tapus are obviously part fairy, so you're gonna be able to 2-hit KO all of them with this. But Tapu Fini is ridiculously bulky though, like on the special defense, and that's why it came to mind. But Earthquake can be used. Skyrock can definitely be used over Earthquake. I run Earthquake because it hits Aegis Slash, it hits Toxapex really hard, it hits Heatran. Skyrock can definitely be used, but I mean, this set, I really wish this Pokemon got Close Combat or High Jump Kick. Like any good fighting stab that it can spam that's not as weak as Sky Uppercut. Sky Uppercut is pretty weak, and it does have the option to miss, whereas Close Combat would have been so much better on it. But Dragon Tail is the last move on it. You can change it up to whatever you want. You can run Facade if you're worried about Rotom burning you, and then Facade doesn't care about that. You can still run Sky Uppercut if you want. Anything like that. But I like Dragon Tail because since this is a physical attacker, this set, your opponent is more than likely going to go out to physical walls such as Skarmory, such as Landorus T, such as Hippowdon. And what Dragon Tail does is, especially if you have hazards up, you phase them out when they come in. They take hazard damage. They take more damage. Landorus T, for example, does not have good recovery or any recovery outside of leftovers. And if it's running Rocky Helmet, it doesn't have any recovery. Unless it runs like Rest or something like that. But Dragon Tail just phases that out, and you're stacking up damage. But again, Sky Uppercut can be ran on this Pokemon. There are other options. It has Swords Dance. It has Taunt. Like, it has some cool movesets. It has a really cool move pool. I just wish it had a better fighting stab. A Flash Cannon can be ran, but you can run like a Rest Roar phasing set. Though Druddigon does that better, but you can. Druddigon only does that better because of Rough Skin. But again, Kommo-o is bulkier than it on the defensive side and the special defensive side, and Druddigon only has 2 more base HP, but Kommo-o is still bulkier than it. So that's also an option. Also, Rock Polish can be ran on the Atomize set. I like Atomize though. I mean, Low Kick is doing less, so why not, right? But again, Swords Dance and Taunt are definitely options that can be ran on this Pokemon. I wouldn't advise Z-Move Belly Drum. I mean, you could use it, but that means you're not getting your speed. And this Pokemon doesn't have priority to abuse that, so I think this is better than running a Z-Move Belly Drum on this Pokemon. But in any case, guys, hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe for more competitive Pokemon analysis. What did I just say? Moveset guys, how to, whatever you want to call them. As well as follow me on Twitter and Twitch just to stay up to date with everything Sun and Moon, and I do stream it. So I hope you guys all enjoy it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.